It's been 2 weeks since the Little Nightmares 3 demo launched, and the full game's release is coming soon. I don't know about you, but do you think this installment will be a worthy successor to the franchise? Despite the new studio now in charge, there's still hope this third game will meet expectations. Although after playing the demo, which was released on September 17 of this year, it makes me question the direction it's taking again. Why? Well, let's take a look back. The demo starts with a cinematic of a mirror. Apparently it's the nightmare of Lou, one of the protagonists, along with Alon. Honestly, here's the first question, unless Lou is afraid of mirrors. Honestly, this so-called nightmare doesn't make much sense to me. No one is chasing us or anything, but maybe we're just missing some context like in Little Nightmares 2. So this is where our adventure starts. I hadn't mentioned it yet, but unlike the second game with 2 protagonists, here we can choose which character to play as. We can play as Lou with her bow and arrow, or Alon with his wrench, each tool having a unique use. Lou cuts ropes, presses buttons, and makes ranged shots, while Alon's wrench breaks through with strong swings. That is, he can break structures and have close combat battles with enemies. For the rest of the mechanics, there won't be any differences between the 2 characters, so if, for example, we find an umbrella that helps us glide, both characters will be able to use it equally. Also, mechanics from previous games, such as grabbing objects, holding hands, and sliding, will still be included. The only difference might be that we don't have an object to light the way. We already know that in the previous games, Shiku's had a lighter, and Mono at a certain point finds a flashlight. However, we haven't seen any of that so far as I know. So we have to be careful with dark places, since we won't be able to see much, which could also be a drawback. Now I want to talk a bit about the game's atmosphere, and it really stands out from the other titles, at least in this demo. While the dark places are pretty much the same, it's the outside where things change, since we find ourselves in a desert area. So the color tones will be warm and not as cold as in the first and second game. And I don't know if it's because of this feature, but this giant baby we come across, honestly, personally, didn't scare me. I don't know if it did for someone else, but I think the atmosphere is one of those reasons. Maybe I've lost sensitivity and don't feel fear anymore, who knows. The design might be a factor too. It's not very scary, with no major chase or stealth moments. Usually it only appears in cutscenes. And you don't feel that danger of being caught because you simply can't be caught, you just run from the destruction this giant baby leaves in its wake, and also, let's say, a bit from its petrification. Although I won't deny that the plot twist, that the eye was actually the baby behind it, did take me by surprise, but that's it, still. Another cutscene where we barely do anything, and even when the baby catches us, it's not intimidating and doesn't seem to know what to do. On the other hand, something that really bothered me was that multiplayer was only available online and there was no way to play it locally. I mean, if you have a friend to play with in the same place, why force them to play on separate screens? It doesn't make much sense, and honestly I think online mode is fine, but local mode would also be great, and this really needs to be emphasized more. If we remember that the ideal nightmare is marked by key scenes, where we view enemies from afar or notice other important features we need to know or that assist it. That gets lost if, for example, one of the players goes faster than the other, and of course that makes the second player feel a bit lost. I understand it must be hard to show 2 small characters in a big world on one screen. They likely noticed it was challenging, especially in the puzzles where we split up and the characters are far apart. Still, I think having 2 teams is needed to play multiplayer. There should be a split screen or something similar. Finally, I want to discuss the protagonists, as the first 2 games introduce mysterious and interesting characters. Six might seem like just a helpless little girl, but we see that she can be a danger to the beings around her. She was able to absorb the lady's power and then killed several of the guests without flinching, before leaving the maw, leaving her fate a mystery. Mono, on the other hand, has a strong connection to television. Even his name refers to this, since mono audio describes a mix where sounds are combined into a single channel. He can travel between televisions using the signal, and in the end, this helped him to free and confront Finman. As we can see, both protagonists, even though they seem defenseless, are actually very powerful. Not counting the runaway kid from the downloadable content of the first game. That one was screwed. But anyway, what does Little Nightmares 3 offer us? We're still not really sure. It will probably be a plot twist, or maybe it will be a plot twist to find out that they're actually more normal than we might think. All we know is that Lo has a strange power to travel through mirrors. In fact, at the beginning of the demo, we see one of the mirrors, which could give us clues about how they got there. We don't fully know these things yet, but hopefully there will be surprises when the long-awaited video game releases. They're 2 characters who can't disappoint, and I hope neither will betray the other. After last time, all I can do is focus on the demo's ending. Here we learn a bit about Lo's past. I wonder if we'll play in both present and past timelines, or just see cinematics for both characters. As the game progresses, we'll gain more context about each one's origin. In short, this LN3 demo shows that some mechanics from previous games will stay, while new ones will be added to enhance gameplay. Cooperativity is also something that stands out here, although personally I really question the fact that there's no way to play it locally. The setting and the boss they show us, honestly, aren't creepy at all. This should be emphasized since the game should at least create bad vibes. And well, the protagonists are still a mystery for now, although it's expected that more things about them will be revealed to us. Speaking more generally, the demo isn't the only information we have from the trailers and gameplay. We've seen some other parts of the game, where the carnival section is my favorite. For now, because I feel like it keeps the atmosphere of the previous installments. And speaking of Mono and the Six, it would be a shame if Minamon didn't make a reference to them. It's an interconnected world, so hints about the Six are helpful, especially since that was left open. We already know Mono's style well. But anyway, this has been a bit of the analysis we have of LN3 for now. Remember that you can leave your opinion here in the comments and tell us what you think about this demo and your expectations for the game. You can also subscribe and join this community to support this content. That's all for now, see you in the next video.